I met two amazing people through a dating app. One is charismatic and adventurous. The other is stable and deeply supportive. Is there a way to explore these connections without hurting anyone or sabotage it? You just can't. It's too confusing.
I'm an open book on social media, but my partner is super private and hates when I post pictures of us. How can we balance my desire to document memories with his need for privacy? You need to get his approval because he's in the picture. I've been best friends with someone for years, and I've realized my feelings go beyond friendship. We share everything, but I'm terrified of messing up. Is it worth risking the friendship for a shot at romance?
You have to bring it up. You don't have any other way of finding out. Hi, everyone. I'm Cassandra Ritter, and this is Tasha Tremi with Astrodipity and Astro Divas. We're coming to you today to say happy January. Once again, I hope you're having a great start to the new year. Astrodipity is an online dating site, which I do hope everybody tries out. You put in your time of birth, your place of birth, and your date of birth, and then you get to learn more about yourself, your sun sign, your moon sign, your Mars, your rising, etc. And then our algorithm works so it matches you based on the compatibility between you and another person. With all that being said, I do believe in deeper connections. I don't believe in superficial connections. So I think our app really gives people the opportunity to mix and mingle with other people that are much more like-minded. On that note, we give out dating advice as well and trying to help people with their relationships. And we've got quite a few emails to go through. So we can start right now. Would you like to go with the first one?
Yeah, I can start. So the subject is he hates all my social posts. Dear Astro Divas, I'm an open book on social media, but my partner is super private and hates when I post pictures of us. We're in a loving relationship, but we argue whenever I tag him or share our date night photos. How can we balance my desire to document memories with his need for privacy?
Compromise?
Well, definitely you need to compromise, and I think you need to run it by him before you post a picture that has him in it. I mean, to
True.
me, he's private, so you need to get his approval because he's in the picture. So definitely, I would run it by him first, and then compromise.
That's the only advice we can give.
Right.
Hi, Astro Divas. I met two amazing people through a dating app. One is charismatic and adventurous. The other is stable and deeply supportive. I feel equally drawn to both. Is there a way to explore these connections without hurting anyone or sabotaging my own happiness? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm not a fan of someone dating two people at once. I think that complicates things. And I think you really can't tap into what you feel when you have two people in your energy. That's confusing. So I think you need to give one relationship a chance at a time and then decide. I don't think you should be doing both at once. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I agree. And I wonder if they know. But I absolutely agree with you. You just can't. It's too confusing.
Right. Yeah. So the next one is stuck in the friend zone with a longtime crush. Oh, gosh. I've been best friends with someone for years, and I've realized my feelings go beyond friendship. We share everything, but I'm terrified of messing up what we have by confessing. How do I gauge whether they might feel the same? Is it worth risking the friendship for a shot at romance? The heart wants what the heart wants. And if you don't express yourself, you could spend all of eternity as a friend and have a yearning in your heart, and it could be something more. So I think that it could also lead to resentment if you don't express yourself. I think you need to. Yeah.
I agree 100%. But I just wonder if the other party has any feelings, why they haven't brought it up. I think they're experiencing a fear of rejection right now, right? And being
Probably.
rejected. Yeah, I agree. But you have to bring it up. You don't have any other way of finding out.
Right.
Dear Astro Divas, my partner was badly burned by a cheating ex. Now they're reluctant to talk about a long-term commitment. We love each other, but they get very anxious whenever the topic of marriage or even living together arises. How can I reassure them that the situation is not going to repeat itself while respecting their pace?
Well, I mean, an honest conversation, having empathy and understanding that that's what he went through. And, saying this is a different relationship, but obviously you're going to have to be patient because it is going to take time, but you need to be open and honest with each other. And, you can't heal someone else. He's going to have to heal from those wounds on his own. And so he's going to have to decide, is he going to allow the pain from the past to affect his current relationship? And if so, then you're going to have to release him.
And if you truly care, you'll be patient. And, compassion.
Yeah.
Compassion is very important in this situation.
So the next one is, I'm happy or single. Should I keep trying? Hi, Astro Divas. I've been single for years and generally love my independence. My friends say I'm missing out, but not by not dating. But I'm not sure if I even want a relationship. Is it okay to stay single if I'm truly content, or should I push myself to be open to love just in case? I think you should do what makes you happy. And if you aren't interested in having a relationship, I definitely think that that's perfectly fine. I don't think you should shut yourself off should you meet someone, but there's nothing wrong with you choosing to be alone because it makes you happy.
And I think if you're happy the way it is now, and you're just content, love will find you if and when you're ready. But you certainly shouldn't be listening to anyone else saying, you've got to put yourself out there. If you want to, and that's what you want, that's one thing, but it has nothing to do with anyone else. So that's what I think. Long distance with no end in sight. I'm in a long distance relationship that lasted over 2 years. We see each other every few months, but there's no firm plan for who will move. We both have stable jobs and family ties where we are. How do we decide if we should relocate or if we should continue this indefinitely?
I'm sorry, but if it's been 2 years and there's no discussion of moving and to have a true solid connection, then you're settling for less. You deserve more and you're settling for less. You need to move on.
And it sounds like it's not going anywhere. It's really not.
No. So the next one is, my friends hate my partner's personality. It says, dear Astro Divas, my partner is very blunt and can come off as rude, which doesn't sit well with my close-knit friend group. They've complained he's too abrasive and kills the vibe. I see a kinder side, they don't. How to bridge the gap between my social circle and the person I love? Well, your friends aren't in a relationship. Obviously, if it bothers you and how he communicates, then I would have a heart-to-heart conversation and ask him if he will temper his responses a little. But what your friends think about who he is has absolutely nothing to do with your relationship with him.
I agree. Other people's opinions shouldn't matter at all. That's why I always say, try to keep your relationship stuff private. But this is about them having an opinion about their character.
Right.
And they don't have the right to that because they're not in the relationship. Anyways, that's just what it is. So, hi, Astro Divas. We are in a committed relationship, but keep clashing over spending habits. My partner is spontaneous and splurges while I'm a careful budgeter. It's getting worse as we think about living together. How can we find financial harmony before resentment builds up? Well, this is a conversation that needs to be had, especially if you're moving in together and you both really have to have the same shared values and understand one another, because one is careful and one is not.
And that can definitely create a lot of conflict, especially if someone is very grounded and they view their financial security as something that makes them feel stable. So that's going to cause a massive issue in the relationship. That definitely needs to be resolved prior to.
Yeah.
So the next one is falling in love after a major life change. I just graduated college and started dating someone new. While I'm excited about this fresh start, I'm also going through an identity crisis. New city, new job, uncertain future. I worry my personal upheaval might destabilize a budding relationship. Is it wise to jump into love during such a transitional period? I don't think that they are connected. what is going on with these life changes, and then you finding love. I think love finds you when it's meant to.
Correct.
And these are issues that you need to learn to let loose a little and stop trying to control and just go with the flow and be accepting. Actually, I would shift your perspective and be more of in the energy of adventure and gratitude and joy that you've been given an opportunity to move to a new job, move to a new city, and go with the flow more. Let your hair down.
Let your hair down. I
Yeah.
agree. I absolutely agree with that advice. I'm tired of doing all the emotional labor. My partner leans on me for every emotional need, venting about work, family drama, personal insecurities. Yet when I open up, they either change the subject or offer minimal support. I'm feeling drained and unappreciated. How do I discuss this imbalance without sounding like I'm rejecting them in their time of need? Well, relationships are a two-way street, and it's really, really important that both sides reciprocate. You both have needs. Everyone needs a sounding board. That person you're with should be your sounding board. But it's got to be both ways, not one way.
Yeah.
And if you can't explain this in a really kind and compassionate way, and they can't seem to receive what you're saying and what your need is, what your emotional needs are, then they might not be the right person for you in the first place.
Yeah.
Because this goes without saying. It's very, very important in a relationship.
When you're in a relationship like this, you are
Yeah.
dating an energy vampire. This person is using your energy, dumping all of their emotional baggage on you. You are the band-aid for this person's unhealed wounds. And I would not continue to engage in this relationship because I don't see a change in sight with this person. They're an energy vampire, period. You need to move on. They're going to drain you completely. So the next one is battling low self-esteem in relationships. I never feel good enough. Hi, Astro Divas. I've noticed a pattern. Whenever I start seeing someone, I obsess over my flaws, my weight, my job, my social skills, and worry they'll realize I'm not good enough. It sabotage past connections. How can I boost my self-esteem so I don't destroy something potentially great with my insecurities? You need to heal from all of your wounding before you get into any relationship, because you need to be in your highest vibration, loving yourself first, knowing your value and worth before you get into a relationship. It's not going to change because there's underlying insecurities, abandonment, rejection wounds that need to be addressed. So you need to focus on yourself and healing, whether it's counseling, prayer, meditation, however you choose to heal. That's what you need to focus on first.
And there are lots of tips that we can give you in order to help yourself. You can start with affirmations. There's a very popular one about going first thing in the morning when you go into the mirror. Sorry, when you go into the bathroom, you look into the mirror and tell yourself you're important, you are lovable. Tell yourself that regularly. Sit down and write things on a piece of paper so you can visualize things. Words of affirmation are really, really good. You have to start finding that loving place, those loving words, the very thing you would expect from a mother or a father when you're a child. Try to talk to your inner child. And that should help you, because it's a mindset you need to change. And changing that mindset doesn't happen overnight, but with self-work and talking to yourself in a really kind way rather than being that critic, you can really change that belief system you have. Hello, Astro Divas. We've been exclusive for over a year, and out of the blue, my partner says they'd like to explore an open relationship. I'm shocked because I'm content with monogamy. I don't want to lose them, but I also don't know if I can handle the idea of multiple partners. How do we resolve this huge difference? Don't.
Run.
Don't resolve.
This is a masculine energy that needs to have multiple partners because they need outside validation. It will make you feel horrible. You will regret it. It will not strengthen your relationship. It will tear it apart. you need to leave this person. They're not worth saving this relationship. They're not worth it. Move on.
And they've lost interest in just being with only you. They've lost that interest. Whether they might not even want multiple partners, it's because they haven't found the one in the first place. Multiple partners could just be the excuse, and they want to date, several people at once. And then when they find the one, they'll want to commit to them. But they're obviously not committed to you, not in any way, shape, or form.
They want an excuse to cheat.
They do.
Yeah. No, get rid of them. You don't deserve that. You deserve way better.
Yep.
Yeah. The next one is working with my partner at the same job. It says my partner and I work at the same company in the same department. It's convenient to commute together, but it's also creating friction. We can't get any personal space. Coworkers gossip, and we've had arguments carrying over in the office. Is this dynamic sustainable, or should one of us consider transferring departments? I would say transfer. It's causing too much of a conflict. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, if it's the cause of the conflict, I guess it's different strokes for different folks kind of thing. I personally like working with the person. I've always loved growing together and building that kind of thing. That's causing gossip. Well, the gossip, first of all, is nobody's business. But if you guys are arguing about it, then there's obviously an issue with your partner, maybe not wanting the same things that you do. I guess like Tasha said, I would think, transfer to a different department. But I don't understand why this can't be resolved. I just don't understand.
I don't either.
Okay. It's me. Yeah. Feeling trapped, but in a rut. My partner and I have fallen into a predictable routine, same restaurants, same weekend plans, and zero adventure. It feels like we're running on autopilot. I miss the excitement we had when we started dating. Any suggestions on injecting new energy into a stagnant relationship? My gosh, there's so many suggestions.
I feel like she's looking for that new feeling. And, it's okay to say, let's try something new and different ideas for weekend activities. But what are you really unhappy about? Because it feels like there's an underlying discontentment in the relationship. She's just not into it anymore.
I feel like they're just stagnant. And I feel like that they have just fallen into the rut that every single relationship goes through at some point, that you're not doing anything. You're doing the mundane, especially if you've got children, if there's children involved or things like that. But I do suggest that you just Google or take a piece of paper and get a pen out and start writing down things that you could do that are completely different than what you have been doing, and try and come up with things that you'd both want to do. Write them down, show them to your partner, say, hey, what do you think about this? Maybe go on vacation, maybe just go away for the day, try new foods. Why not pull out a board game? And
anything.
Take out that piece of paper and get to work then, because it sounds like to me you just want something different and you're bored, and we all go through that. So do that.
So the next one is, he's uncomfortable with my success. I recently got a big promotion and now I earn significantly more than my boyfriend. He's supportive on the surface, but sometimes makes passive aggressive comments that I'm wearing the pants. We love each other, but these jabs are hurtful. How can I address the underlying insecurity and redefine our roles without resentment?
Men.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is his issue. This is something that he needs to resolve within himself. You shouldn't be apologetic for getting a promotion. And if he feels threatened or inferior, that's his issue, not a you issue. And I would definitely speak openly about how that makes you feel, the passive aggressive statements. But he needs to resolve that within himself. Don't be feeling bad because you've got a promotion.
Yeah, in fact, pat yourself on the back. be, he should be your cheerleader, and he should be. I do understand, though. I've got, some empathy for people who go through that. It could be, a little jab on his ego because he'd like to be the main provider, things like that. But congratulations, good for you. A job well done. And you have to
Yes.
let him know how you feel. And that's
Yeah.
about it. He's quiet and I'm vocal. Whenever we argue, I want to talk it out immediately and thoroughly, but my partner needs time alone to process. This leads me to feeling ignored and him feeling overwhelmed. Is there a healthy middle ground so we can resolve issues without driving each other crazy? Boy, I can relate to this.
Yeah. Well, it's acceptance, right?
It's acceptance, but I am a Virgo. And even though we are both capable of either wanting to resolve it immediately or completely shutting down, I do both. And I can understand that some people really need space and they need time to cool down. And sometimes I will just want to get on it, resolve it, and let it go from there. But not everybody's like that. We all have different characters. I don't know. How would you resolve something, Tasha? If let's say we had it out right now, we had it out. Would you need a few hours and you don't want to talk and you shut down?
So if I'm in a relationship with someone and if they're coming at me aggressive, if
Mhm.
they're not in the energy to be able to receive the communication to resolve the issue, I will not waste my energy. I will walk away until they have calmed down because I'm not wasting my energy.
So
So
what you mean by calm down is you mean they're yelling and they're just out of control.
they're not open to receive the communication from me.
Okay, now what if they, this is just an example, what if they're saying, you did this and you did that, and gosh, I'm just fed up. Would you, and they want to walk away, would you at that point follow behind trying to, let's work this out? Or would
No.
you just walk away as well? And
I would walk away because I would understand that they're not in the energy to receive open communication that is mature.
exactly, I agree with that 100%. However, there are people out there, or there are lots of situations where if you walk away, it can make the other person feel rejected and unwanted and unloved and unseen and unheard. And I think it's a balance, or a balancing situation, because it really goes by character. You're one to
Yeah.
either want to resolve it and, calm everything down, or you're one to walk away. I think you have to balance. There's got to be a balance.
No, I agree. There has to be a balance, but I'm also with age recognize that if someone is hyper
Sure.
reactive and emotional, then you trying to calm a situation down is also going to agitate the situation. So you have to wait and be patient till that person is more in control of their emotion and then talk about it. I can say, let's talk about this when we're calmed down. Let's talk about this when we are feel more grounded.
That's
Not you.
exactly what you should say. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next one is my dating expectations might be unrealistic. It says, I'm the type who believes in sweeping gestures, instant sparks, and love at first sight. Basically, a rom-com fantasy.
I love it.
Realistically, many great relationships grow slowly, but I keep dismissing them because I don't get the magical rush. Am I missing out on deeper connections by chasing a fairy tale romance?
Yes, by the way. Yes, just because it could happen down the road. I
Yeah.
mean, you never know.
Well, I mean, I get that she likes the fairy tale, but is it grounded in reality or is it an illusion? And who's to say that if you don't take it slow, that it can't grow and be the most amazing romantic love of your life? It's like you're
She's
expecting
water
someone to
sign.
come,
She's a water sign.
probably, and I have a water moon, so I get it, but
Yeah.
there has to be some sort of realistic expectations. So yes, I do feel you are being a little bit unrealistic and you're missing opportunities. So be open to let someone come in and prove that they're worthy of your energy, and show you that they have the romantic side to them. Don't be so quick just to push them aside.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Just agreed. Sorry. Hello, Astro Divas. My partner has had multiple relationships before me, and logically, I know that's normal. But sometimes I obsess over details, like how serious they were, the gifts that were exchanged, and the adventures they had. It's making me feel insecure and jealous of the past I can't change. How do I let go of these comparisons? Oh,
You need to work on loving yourself and knowing how valuable you are. It doesn't matter who had past loves. You yourself had past loves. And so it's your own insecurity based on your past experiences. So I would definitely recommend doing more healing and knowing just how amazing you are. No one compares to you. He's obviously with you.
yeah. You really need to change your mindset, your belief system. You really need to work on loving yourself more. Absolutely
Yeah.
true. This goes for everyone. We all need to work on that.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah.
The next one is unsure about a friends with benefits arrangement. My friends and I started a casual fling with no strings, but I'm starting to catch deeper feelings. We agreed on no commitments initially, but now my emotions have shifted. Should I risk proposing a real relationship and possibly lose the friendship, or continue to hide my true feelings? I think you should put it out on the table, because a friends with benefit relationship is not going to go anywhere unless someone speaks up and has other intentions. And at least you know where you stand instead of stringing it along. Your feelings are going to keep growing, and it's going to end up in a greater heartbreak if you don't find out where it's going.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And yes, you need to put it out there right away. And if not, you got to cut this off, because
Right.
eventually any friends with benefits relationship, unless the person is literally using you and you're just an option and you mean nothing to them, of course it's going to become, there's going to be feelings involved. It just can't be anything but, unless you're using that person. So
Right.
yes, you need to put it out there now. When my partner and I argue, we both get defensive and say ugly things out of anger, even after we make up. I'm haunted by the harsh words exchanged. I'm worried that this pattern is damaging our bond. How can we learn to fight fair and respect each other, even in the heated moments? Well, first of all, you definitely both have to grow up in that sense, and I don't mean that in a rude way. But being kind to one another is super important. And if you're hurting each other and trying to hurt each other, that's the intent, to make the other person feel bad. It's not going to end up good for both of you down the road. You're always going to be insecure. You're going to end up jealous. That's toxic. And a toxic relationship is never healthy for anyone. So it's actually a very simple thing to fix. And that is decide, commit to, I'm no longer going to talk like this. I'm going to be kind. And if you don't change as well, then we're done. It's very,
Right.
very simple. There's no other way to put this.
It's mastering your emotions and your emotional response, your reactive responses.
Correct.
And it just is going to take one to change that pattern of behavior. And then the other one is going to be left with their own nasty words. And it is okay to say, look, I don't appreciate you saying that. That's
Yep.
not appropriate. That's hurtful. But
And
you yourself has to make that change.
And hopefully you do it together. You say, yes, this is not right. We're not doing this to one another. Would you treat your friends like that? Would you treat your mother like that? Talk to your father like that?
Right.
So absolutely, you do it and you make the commitment to change. And if the other party is not doing it, then walk away. It's done.
Right. So the next one is my partner's nighttime TV binge is epic. My girlfriend can't sleep without watching 3 hours of reality TV at night. She blasts it at 2 a.m. and my poor ears are done with dramatic rose ceremonies and crazy confessionals. How do I get her to hit pause so I can get some shut eye without becoming the villain who hates her shows. I think out of respect, she should be doing it in the other room. If she's up till 2 a.m. and you have to work and you need to sleep, I would very kindly say, look, I support your binge watching at night. However, I need to get some rest. So can you watch your shows out in the living room while I'm sleeping?
I, on the other hand, would want that person still with me. And I would say, get some really good earplugs, because I wouldn't want them to leave. That's just
no,
me.
You're better than me. I'd say,
yeah,
get out to the living room because you're driving me crazy with it. No,
yeah.
I think it's respect. I wouldn't do that to someone, you know?
I agree with you, but sometimes, and not just my side, but sometimes the other person doesn't want to go into the other room because they don't want to leave you as well. So that's why they'd rather watch TV there. There's a gazillion ways to handle this. Either leave the room, talk about it, buy earplugs, whatever way you can make it so that you're both happy.
Right.
It doesn't have to be one way. It can be so that you're both happy. They are a snack thief. I keep a stash of my favorite snacks in a hidden cupboard, but my boyfriend has a sixth sense for sniffing them out. I find empty wrappers stuffed behind cereal boxes. He calls it quite bonding, but I call it the snack heist. How do I politely defend my sugary treasures?
Find a different hiding spot. Or buy an extra bag, you know, put what he likes there and then take yours and hide it somewhere else.
Yeah, it's all about learning how to hide things. Hide
right.
it really well. I know,
Yeah.
because I have a little guy, my little partner, he's a cat, and he steals all of my stuff, and it drives me nuts. So I've started, locking my doors, locking my little cupboards. I have an elastic around 2 cupboard doors right now because he knows how to open it. Crazy.
Well, let me tell you, I just saw a TikTok video yesterday, and there was a cat chewing on, it was a hidden camera, chewing on the head of an electric toothbrush with the song playing, How Long Has This Been Going On? So make sure your bathroom door is shut. Your cat's on the loose. Good. Yep. Because he could be chewing on your toothbrush head.
I just got the visual. Got it.
Oh my gosh. Is it me next?
Yes.
My dog is dressed better than I am. My partner's obsessed with dressing our dog in elaborate outfits. Tutus, superhero suits, holiday themed hats. The dog seemed indifferent, but I'm mortified when we go for walks. Is it too harsh to suggest toning it down so our pup doesn't upstage me in its intense wardrobe? That's so weird. You are not a dog. Why would you compare yourself to the dog?
Yeah, that's so weird.
It's almost like jealousy of the attention that the dog gets.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to this. That's just odd.
No, you're right. Jealousy.
Yeah. It's weird.
You've got an issue with your dog getting attention. But isn't that what you wanted in the first place? Because you're dressing them like that?
Yeah,
isn't that what you actually want?
Well, the partner's doing the dressing up. It's the other person that doesn't like it.
Right. Well, same thing. That's jealousy.
It's weird. How are you jealous of the dog? No.
My partner communicates through movie quotes, constantly referencing scenes from classic films or comedic lines instead of speaking normally. While it's funny at times, I sometimes feel like I'm conversing with Hollywood scripts. Can I ask for a less quoting and more real talk, or is that just crushing their creative flair?
It's like being in a relationship with the Truman Show. Nobody wants that. You need to have an honest conversation and say, look, I can appreciate your, ability to quote Hollywood, lines, but we're in a real relationship and I would rather your authentic lines come out. I appreciate you.
Or maybe they're not meant for one another, because that's a character. Yeah, that's a character you either like or you don't. And if you're not one and you don't like the way they communicate, you're not going to work out anyways.
No, it's gonna bring resentment.
Yeah.
The next one is namaste or no way. Dear Astro Divas, my new partner is all about yoga, chanting, and crystals. They're trying to drag me to 6 a.m. hot yoga sessions. I'm not exactly the flexible type. I don't want to reject their healthy lifestyle, but I also don't enjoy downward dog at sunrise. How do I politely keep my snooze button? Be honest. I appreciate and support your endeavors. I think it's amazing, but I have my own way of, unwinding, connecting, whatever. And, someone that truly loves you will respect that. They're not going to push you. Yeah.
And if you don't like yoga, you don't like yoga. It's that simple. If you don't want to get up at 6 a.m., you shouldn't have to get up at 6 a.m.
No.
You should live your life on your terms.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hi, Astro Divas. My partner constantly raids my closet, my comfy hoodies, my oversized t-shirts, and wears them like we share a wardrobe. It's adorable until I realize I have nothing left to wear. Is it mean to reclaim my clothes, or should I just embrace the couple's clothing share?
If it bothers you, speak up.
Speak up. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Just speak up. Say something. Don't write into us. Say something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if they're taking all your clothes and not respecting your boundaries and not respecting that you have nothing to wear, this sounds like you guys are young, maybe. And yeah, just speak up.
The next one is holiday decorations all year round. It says, my significant other thinks every day is a holiday season. Christmas lights in July, Valentine's hearts in October, you name it. Our house looks like a year-round festive wonderland, but I'm exhausted by the constant decor. How do I get them to let go of the tinsel sometimes? That might be their thing, but if it's not your thing, then you shouldn't be forced to participate. I mean, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Let him do it, all the decorating, or her. I don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Yeah.
But, it's on them. I wouldn't like that constantly. It's too much work. But it depends on the personality too. I like things neat and order. I don't like things to be all a mess.
It's a personality clash. That's
what
it is. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So what can you do about it? Not much. You can, hope they'll understand how you feel. And if not, then there's not much you can do about it except make the decision to continue or to walk away.
Right.
The next one is, Dear Astro Divas, my partner posts literally everything. Our brunches, our coffee runs, our silly moments on social media, and hashtags galore. I'm camera shy and tired of living life on display. Is it possible to ask for fewer public updates without sounding like I'm stifling their creativity? Okay, well, you have to say something. It sounds like you're miserable and you don't like it. You flat out don't like it. And there's no reason why you should. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. And if they're not willing to respect what you want and how you don't want your public, your life on display, then you should cut them out.
Yeah, it's overstepping boundaries and disrespectful. So,
correct.
Definitely. The next one is ink pressure. We've been dating 6 months, and my partner wants us to get matching tattoos. I'm not against tattoos, but I'm worried about having a permanent symbol if things don't work out. How do I let them down gently without implying I'm unsure of our future together? I would just say I'm not interested in doing that at this time. Maybe in the future, but I'm not interested in that.
Yeah,
I get it.
Me too. And I think getting a tattoo is a very serious thing. I've known a few people in my lifetime. They've all had to either have them redone or changed to change the initials or have them removed. So it's permanent, unless you want to go through removing it. So yes, you have every right to feel the way you feel.
Yep.
My girlfriend turns every game night into a fierce competition. She'll smack talk, celebrate widely, and do victory laps around the living room. I enjoy playing, but I'm not sure how much more my pride and our friends can handle. Any suggestions for mellowing out this game night gladiator? Not really. If she's having fun, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I don't think you should have to change the way someone has fun or the way they react. I don't think you should be trying to change them whatsoever. I just don't.
I mean, if she's being rude, demeaning or anything like that, that would be different. If she's like attacking the other players of the game, well, she's smack talking. So I don't know what.
Yeah, you did.
So
sure.
I don't know. It just depends on what she's saying. If she's being demeaning or out of line, I would definitely have a conversation with her about, look, maybe let's not attack Bobby Sue or Mary Ann because she didn't play the game correctly or whatever. It's not gonna. We're here to have fun and we appreciate that you enjoy it, but let's not attack the guests.
Yeah, let's not attack the guests. There's not much more to say on that level.
Yeah.
But that's all we have for now. And we'll be back next Sunday. I hope that everybody, if they have anything they want, just us, Tasha and I, to touch on, just to email us at astrodivas@astrodipity.com. I hope we're not too blunt with how we respond because it's very cut and dry with us. There's no, in between. And I hope everybody does check out Astrodipity and go online. You can download the app on Apple and Google. And our actual launch in India will be starting this week. So I'm not sure of the day, but I look forward to that. And I look forward to getting to know everybody better and to your emails. And on that note, I'm saying goodbye from Cass.
Goodbye.
And have a wonderful week. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.